You may know our next guest best for her beauty and graceful aging tips, but behind all of that, she is the wife of the late and iconic actor Jerry Douglas, who fans knew as John Abbott on The Young and the Restless. I was a huge fan, and we're lucky enough to have Kym here to share her experience and tips for when you lose a spouse. But first, a tribute to Jerry.
I have a wonderful son who has made this father a very happy, proud man.
Wow. We're all in tears over here with you, Kym. Welcome back to TBL. Thank you so much for opening up about your loss today. That takes so much courage. For those who didn't know Jerry Douglas, how would you describe him?
Well, first off, it's so good to be back with you guys. You are all so kind and gracious to me, both on and off camera. Thanks for having me here and all your texts that you do, Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about him. As you had said, he played John Abbott on The Young and the Restless for almost 40 years. And here's a story that kind of sums him up that I bet a lot of people will relate to. When we would go out, men would come up to him and they would say, we didn't have a father figure in our life, or we didn't have a father in our life. But from watching The Young and Restless with our grandmothers at our grandmother's lap or our mother's side, we learned how to be a good father and a good husband.
Wow.
And thank you for that. And those meant the most to him. Those compliments were what really touched him. And I think him being a really great husband and father is what it really was all about.
Wow. Kym, thanks for coming back to the show. So sorry for your loss, but I think it's a question that everybody has in the back of their mind, right? I'm lucky enough to have both of my parents, but I know some other people aren't so lucky, right? How do you ever prepare yourself for a loss? Is there an answer to that question?
There actually is, and it sounds so pragmatic, and forgive me, but I will tell you that when the situation hits and you get, and even, Jerry was ill for quite some time, so it wasn't a big surprise to us. But if you happen to be much younger and get into an accident, God forbid, or something, here's what my suggestion is. Get your life in order, get your paperwork in order, get your business in order, so that the people that are left can just deal with the loss of you and not the paperwork and the signing and it's so hard to deal with both of those things. So if you're 20 or if you're 100, I say get those things in order.
I mean, that's great advice.
Yeah, I live the advice that you just gave. First of all, I just appreciate you coming on and being so forthright about your emotions, because it's tough to talk about on television and just to even say out loud a lot. And, my father passed away suddenly, and what you were saying in terms of get your life together, he was a very organized man. So it's like car insurance, life insurance, everything was like laid out, and that's how he lived. He was super organized, but I never thought about the fact that a lot of people are like, we don't know where so-and-so's will is, and we don't know. So it's a big deal. So I think that's such a great note to give.
And you know what? That is a real blessing. You should know that your father, that was a blessing what he did for you, truly.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And just to keep with that theme, I mean, I want to talk to you about the stages of grief, but I did not handle it well. I did not know that there were stages. So I was just like, I'll just drink until I figure it out. And that does not help. You actually need to do the work. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about the stages of grief?
Well, here's the thing that I did learn. The number one thing I would say is give yourself grace. And if for you, it was having a little bit more to drink, sometimes for a little period of time, for me, it was going into bed, pulling the covers over my head, not dealing with anything, just being in my bedroom and being alone. I'm pretty adept from Jerry at putting on a happy face when I need to. I can perform, if you know what I mean, in real life. For whoever I can be whatever you need me to be. For my son, I can be the strong mother. For my stepkids, I can be for, my family, whatever. But when all those people go away, that's when it was really hard for me. But I will tell you, as many people know, with all the wonderful flowers and cards and texts and notes from all of you as well, which I appreciated so much. When that goes away, that's when, for me, the sadness and sorrow kicked in. But, you know, I just kept thinking, and I know you probably did this with your dad, what would Jerry have wanted for me to do? He wants me to be strong. He wants me to share our beautiful love story, and that he had a very full, fulfilled life. He wants me to go on. And for our son, I do that too. So that pulls me out of it.
Kym, Tori here. I don't know if the audience knows, but we're friends
Tori.
on Instagram,
Yeah.
and I've really looked up to your career and what you've done about Jerry. I just want to say I'm very sorry about losing him. You guys were so in love, and I wanted to know, Kym, what do you do when something happens and you just want to tell Jerry about it?
Hi, Tori. So that's the hard part. You know, I recently did something on a show, and I recently, you know, had a couple of things that happen. And the first thing when I get out of, you know, Ellen or whatever is I call him to tell him how it went, and that's really hard. So I find other people in my life and support systems like you and like a lot of the people that are around me. And I just create a new family and a new support system. And while none of them will ever be Jerry, you know, I really believe and I trust, and this is where my faith comes in, that when God does close a door like this, I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that he opens a double wide window, and he'll bring those right people into your life.
Amen. Amen.
Thanks
I know.
for saying that,
Kym, there's not enough words for us to express our gratitude on how you've had.
You guys are so kind.
No, I mean, listen, it takes a lot of courage to open up about the loss of your loved Jerry, and I know that your whole point of doing so is to help others. My sister recently lost her husband, and I'm going to show her this interview, and I think your words will be quite comforting to her. So you're helping people.
Thank you, Sam. That's so kind. Thank you.
DBL Nation, be sure to follow Kym on Instagram at Kym Douglas and on Facebook. We appreciate you, Kym. We'll be right back.
I adore you guys. Daily Blast Live. I love you.
We love you too.
Thank you.